Welcome to Spreadsheet Tips on Lookup Values. This is a function that I used in my experience as the controller of a local bank. And I just kind of put on the screen basically what I had to do, which was we had a database that would be able to provide us loans by type code. But our database was not able to provide us loans by the related general ledger number, which is always something as the accountant that I was always looking for. So to kind of get around this, one of the functions that I used was lookup values. So what I have here on the screen is basically a sample of what I would see. I would see the different account numbers, I would see my customer names, and then I would see this type code. I did know that my type code would be able to translate over to a specific general ledger number. So that's kind of how you would start with a lookup function, is that you'd have an identified field, in this case being type code, and then you would also have a corresponding kind of translation that you're trying to get to. So if I had a very extensive list and I wouldn't want to manually go through and translate all these from type code to general ledger code, I would set up a lookup function. Now you can manually type this in, or you could go ahead and get it from formulas function. So in this first one, what I'm looking for is the Smith loan with a type code of 10. I don't really care about the type code. What I want to know is which general ledger is this Smith loan ending up in. So I'm going to go ahead and say formulas insert function. And under all, I'm going to look for the function lookup. And here we go. And I'm going to do the array because I have an entire table that we're going to take a look at. So I'm going to say lookup value array. So my lookup value is the type code. So I'm going to go ahead and select the type code. And what I want Excel to do is to then reference up to this box. And if it's a 10, I want Excel to tell me that it's general ledger 1400 consumer loan. If it's a 20, I want Excel to tell me it's 14010, 30, 14020. That's what I want Excel to do. So just by selecting the field that it's first going to look at, and then the array, I want to highlight this whole table right here. Okay, and then Excel's smart enough to follow the row. Okay, so I'm going to say OK. And then you can see what it did is it did indeed give me my consumer loan general ledger, which I was looking for. Now, of course, we're going to want to click and drag this formula down, but we're going to have to use absolute values because although we want this field, the column C, to pull down with our formula, we want this data to remain constant. So let's go up and do our shortcut F4 to do absolute value on the array portion of our formula. That way that's not going to move when we pull it down. All right, so let's go ahead and pull down the formula. And as you can see, very quickly I was able to translate from type code, which is what my database provided, to general ledger code, which is what I wanted to see. And it's just, like I said, something that you might run into as you're working with data in your career, that it's not giving you the data that you want, but you're able to take a related field and translate. And you'll find that a lookup function is going to definitely help you out in that scenario. And that is the lookup function, so thank you for joining me on this.